This is Mike from fearshop.com. Make sure you like this video and leave your comments. Also, subscribe to the channel and set up notifications so you know when the next video drops. Let's get into it. Today, we are talking about the top 10 horror movies of 2019. Honestly, I could have pretty much easily done a top 20 list. Narrowing it down to the top 10 horror movies of 2019 was really hard. I will say that my list could be a little divisive because there's a few movies that people love that I was lukewarm on at best. Before we get into the top 10 list, let's have a look at some honorable mentions. Little Monsters. This fun little Australian movie is just that, fun. You have to take it with a grain of salt. The dialogue is lacking at times, but the film still survives. Crawl. Most people seem to hate Crawl, but I thought it was a thrilling movie for most of the ride. At the end of the day, we have now seen the biggest crawl space in the history of mankind. The cavernous crawl space had many twists and turns. There was also some forgetful writing when previously injured actors were able to get up and move around later in the film inexplicably. Still, it's one hell of a creature film. The Lighthouse. People are going to hate me for this, as The Lighthouse sits atop many people's lists. I'm not hating on The Lighthouse. I just thought it was okay, though. Countdown. I will admit the Countdown probably is on this list because it's one of the ones that I watched most recently. I had a lot of fun with this one. It starts off with a nice concept and keeps the viewer engaged throughout. Us. Jordan Peele's 2017 debut Get Out was an interesting film that showed that Peele knows how to tell a gripping story. It broke box office records. His sophomore effort, Us, proves that Peele's hit was not a fluke. Okay, that rounds out our honorable mentions. Now let's get to the meat and potatoes. Coming in at number 10, Eli. A sick young boy and his parents check into a massive and seemingly deserted medical facility in order to receive an experimental treatment, only to discover that the eerie old mansion may in fact be haunted. I'm definitely in the minority on this one. Eli did nothing for most people, apparently. I was with the movie the entire time and then fell in love with the twist at the end. Sure, there was a lot that went on, and people are definitely not with me on this one, but I kind of had a good time with Eli. Number 9, Satanic Panic. Satanic Panic follows a pizza delivery girl who must escape the clutches of an evil sect of Satanists. I just had a good time with this one. I was surprised that it made my top 10 list actually, but when I was going through all the movies, this one just kept sticking out at me, and it was a fun ride the whole entire time. Number 8, Brightburn. Despite its strong cast and fascinating concept, Brightburn failed to perform at the box office when it hit theaters in May. Director David Yarovsky brought something new by combining the horror and superhero genres. Brightburn follows a young alien boy named Brandon who has Superman-esque powers after landing on Earth. It is a tense story that shows Brandon's descent into doubt and villainy, and it's a cautionary tale about how badly Clark Kent could have turned out in Metropolis. Number 7, Happy Death Day to You. I really dug Happy Death Day and was expecting Happy Death Day to You to fall short, but the film was still pretty fun. Happy Death Day to You is not a flop in the conventional sense. Produced for just $9 million in heaven, grossed $27 million worldwide over the long Thursday through Monday President's Day / Valentine's Day weekend. It'll make money even with marketing distribution costs were taken into account. In North America, though, it was certainly a crushing disappointment considering the first Happy Death Day earned $11.6 million on its first day, $26 million over its debut weekend in October of 2017, and eventually $55.68 million over its domestic run. The sequel earned just $14.7 million over its 5-day debut. Regardless, the film captured me and surprised me a little bit. Number 6, Child's Play. Against popular opinion, I am not a huge Child's Play fan. I will watch the movies every once in a while, but to me it's a weak franchise compared to some of my favorites. Bride of Chucky was a good installment to the franchise. I'll give them that one. The best part of the remake is that it's not like the original. If they remade the original, it would have been very dated, but they had some fun with the story. They updated the story with some technology enhancements, but for the reasons that I liked it, many people hated it. The hashtag #NotMyChucky started circulating and people were against the film. All in all, the film played out well, and there was actually some nice gore in it too. Number 5, Zombieland Double Tap. I will say that I was slightly underwhelmed with Zombieland Double Tap. It felt like it stole too much from the original, and the writing was not as strong as the original. But I have to admit that the original got me from the opening scenes with Metallica's For Whom the Bell Tolls. Zombieland Double Tap, on the other hand, tries to recreate the same magic by opening with Master of Puppets. The same feeling wasn't there. The infighting and people leaving, then coming back, then leaving, then coming back, it all felt forced in a way to try to add something where they really just didn't need to. Just the relationships between the 4 main characters was really enough. Nonetheless, Zombieland Double Tap comes in at number 6. It still played out well. It is slightly hard, though, I will say. Number 4, It Chapter 2. Those losers from It are back. Only now it's 27 years later, and most of those losers have gone on to have relatively happy lives. But, unfortunately, Pennywise the Clown is back, which means it's time for a big reunion and some horrifying standoffs between our heroes and a kid-killing creature. Number 3, Ready or Not. Ready or Not snuck up on a lot of people. It feels like it's going to become a cult classic in no time at all. The acting is solid, Samara Weaving is amazing. This film is what fun horror is supposed to be. When I think of fun horror from recent years, I think back to Shaun of the Dead, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. Both of them aren't exactly recent anymore, but they were fun. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil was so unexpected to me. I laughed aloud a few times. While I did not laugh out loud at Ready or Not, I just had fun and just went with it. Number 2, Pet Sematary. I am most definitely in a minority on this one. I love the Pet Sematary remake. Dare I say, more than the original. The story got flipped around a bit. The film is a good-looking film. The acting is solid. The sound effects were intense. I really dug this remake quite a bit. In addition, John Lithgow's pretty much always awesome anyways. Number 1 for 2019, Dr. Sleep. If you're going to make a sequel to The Shining, Stephen King has to write it, and why not have Mike Flanagan direct as well? He did a great job with King's Gerald's Game. Flanagan delivers another smart, dark adaptation. Ewan McGregor plays the now-grown Danny Torrance, who's forced to hit the road and do battle with a shine-swallowing vampire. Ewan McGregor absolutely killed this role. He was awesome. The movie kept me engaged for the mere 16 plus hours runtime that it has. Seriously, it was a long movie, but I enjoyed every minute of it, and I was quite surprised that it ended up making it that high on my list. So, that wraps this one up. I want to hear from you. Post your top 10 horror movies of 2019 in the comments. Let me know which movies in my list you agree with and which ones you disagree with. That's it for this episode. Make sure you like this video, make sure you share this video, make sure you subscribe, but most of all, make sure you keep it hard.